Okay, continue. Okay, so the language, not to lose the language, but our language. Have you already been to Penico, Nouvelle-Écosse?
Yeah, I've been to many parts.
Penico.
Yeah, yeah.
You've been there?
Yeah.
Have you?
I
sat in a restaurant there.
Yeah.
And I listened to them talk. Incredible. And this is a French language that survived for 400 years, maybe longer. So
very difficult to survive. They're isolated. Usually the isolation will look.
They will kill it.
Yeah, the best French spoken in this province are areas that are isolated geographically. You know, the northeast or the Kedgewick-Saint-Quentin area.
But it's unique.
That's right.
So how come the Chiat should be unique?
Well, what do you mean should be? Should be.
I mean, if you go in court and you speak the Chiat, you sort of look out of place because you're not speaking the so-called proper French. You know, I mean, it's very hard to have books on Chiat. I mean, it would be almost impossible.
Well,
but how did they do it?
There are a number of artists, poets, writers who have written. I mean, Gérald Leblanc, almost all of his career, who passed away a few years ago, was writing the language of his area. He was from the southeast, and he was writing in Chiac. Chiac is a dialect, I guess. I guess some linguists would say no, it's not a dialect. But anyway, the language has changed, and it includes a lot of English language, a lot of English words. That has evolved over years because of the influence of the area. A lot of Anglophones, Francophones living in areas where most of the time all they heard was English.
Yeah.
So.
But remember, Montgomery, they were here. England, we were here TV.
Oh, yeah, TV. But when you go to Moncton and when you go to Albert County, which also go to Nova Scotia. I mean, you're in that area. You're very close, so you hear a lot of it, and all of a sudden you realize that the language.
Vote watching TV. Vote watching TV.
Yeah, vote watching TV.
Vote watching TV. So that's not English.
But if you go,
vote watching TV.
There's a whole history, and I'm sure that there's a lot of people have written about it, about how it has evolved. But if you as a worker, you work in English, even though you're a francophone from Memramcook, you work in a shop in Moncton. And everything's in English, and you come to realize, maybe subtly or subliminally, that the important language is English. So I'm going to maybe slide a few English words in there, and all of a sudden, your language, your French language, is full of English expressions. You don't even know what the French expression is anymore.
Yeah.
So that evolves over time, and then when you speak to your children, that's what they hear. So instead of aller regarder la télévision, c'est aller watch TV.
Well,
so these things have evolved.
But it's unique.
It's a big debate.
It's unique.
Yeah,
it's
but
unique.
it's a big debate. It's a big debate within academic circles as to whether or not it's unique. It's something that should be celebrated in a sense, and in a sense it is by poets and writers writing using that language. Marie-Jo Thériault sings that language. It's very colorful.
1755.
1755.
The best.
But what does that do to you? As far as that, if you say that you go to court, and because the only language that you have, the only French that you have is Chiac, and you can't understand what is happening, well, that's.
But I watched Matlock.
That's not good.
I watched Matlock. So,
Matlock, yeah.
But I was told that this is no Matlock.
Is not French. He's not Chiac either.
That's why I can understand the English system.
No, it is the language debate. When you first sat down here and you said about debate language in Brunswick, it's a big thing. Yes, but it's all of that. What it is at the basis of it, it's to ensure that people maintain their identities, linguistically speaking. And what can the government do? What can every New Brunswicker do in order to ensure that people can maintain that, but also have equal opportunity within their own language, within their own culture, to live, to play, to work, to have gainful employment, to feel good about themselves. And that's what it is. How do you manage? And we had a survey last year. 83% of people support official bilingualism. Now you say on your blog you've got a lot of people who are against blah blah blah. Well, 83% of people surveyed said that they support it. Now, where there may be debate is how you implement things to ensure that the principles are in fact translated in measures to provide people and communities with the tools necessary to progress, to develop, and not to be assimilated, and not to be left behind because they don't speak the language of the majority. So this is this complicated societal project that has many little fingers in the hands and all that.
So, go ahead.
Yeah. So it requires a full debate. It requires full conversation.
That's why we're going to go to part 7. All right.